Hello and welcome to this version of Yoga Bites. So Yoga Bites are going to be 10 to 15 minute little sequences of yoga for those days where you just can't get to a yoga class or dedicate a full hour to your practice, but a great way to stay focused and to stay connected to your yoga. So today we're going to look at Surya Namaskar. Salute to the sun. So lots of different varieties. Plenty of instructors use the Sun Sal A, Sun Sal B, and you might notice some variations. I'm going to spend some time today building from that very basic Sun Salutation A, and then we'll just make sure that we're getting some movement into all planes of motion of the body. So let's start off first in that beginning position in our mountain pose. So your feet are hip width apart. So right where the femur goes into the hip joint, it's about where we want to station our feet. We're going to take a soft bend in the knees. Go ahead and lift your toes up, spread them out, and then grip into your mat or the floor. That soft bend in the knees doesn't mean that we're just relaxing here. We're going to activate. So start to contract through the quadriceps. Feel the kneecaps lifting a little bit. Start to draw the inner thighs together. Lots of activation here. This is not a passive stance. We're going to take our pubic bone and start to draw it up towards the sternum. So what you'll notice is maybe a little drop or lengthening in the lower back. Lift the chest, shoulder blades roll back and down, and those arms are activated. Crown of the head reaching up, and just take a few breaths here. Notice the stability of your mountain pose. Swan diving. So we're going to reach the arms up, shoulders roll away from the ears, and then hinging forward in the swan dive. So I'll turn sideways here because as we come forward, we're going to start to put a slight bend in the knees, and those sit bones start to reach out behind us. Belly draws back towards the spine, chest stays lifted. So I'm going to start off with some blocks because we usually will feel at the beginning some tightness in those hamstrings. So let's give them some time to warm up and stretch out. And bending the knees deeply, letting the head just sink. Standing forward fold. Coming into a halfway lift, pulling the sit bones back, looking forward, keeping the belly button drawn towards the spine. We're going to lengthen through the legs a little bit here. Feel that activation. And now the legs stay where they are and just let the upper body go. Reverse swan dive all the way back up, keeping those feet planted. And great. Let's try that again. This time a little bit smoother with the breath. So our inhale, we come up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. And deeper into that fold. Really feel the hamstrings stretching here. Crown of the head dropping towards the ground. Reverse swan dive up. And back into mountain pose. Great. So we're going to add our downward facing dog. So normally in a lot of versions, there's a jump back to the plank. I like getting into downward facing dog. It's a great way to work into the vigorous flow when you add more to your sun salutations. So we'll start off in our mountain pose, rooting through the feet, reaching up, and then hinging forward. Making sure the back stays released down to Uttanasana. Halfway lift. We're going to plant the hands and step the feet back. Okay, so stay here in your downward facing dog. I want you to take your focus into your hands. You should be pressing in through the base of your fingers and then fingers spread wide, gripping into the ground. Your wrists should feel light. You want to avoid driving the weight into the heel of the hand. We're also going to keep a small bend in the elbows to avoid locking any of those joints out, and shoulders roll away from the ears, the head hangs. Nice. Look in between your hands, walk your feet forward. Halfway lift. Take that fold a little deeper. Reverse swan dive up. Landing in your mountain pose. Great. One more time. Let's go through. Inhaling up. Exhale, folding forward. Halfway lift. Plant your hands and step back into your downward facing dog. Check into the hands, the elbows, the shoulders. And let's take a look at what's happening lower in the body. So draw the belly button back towards the spine and then shift your weight backwards as if your sit bones were trying to reach to the wall behind you. You should feel, again, stretching through the back of the legs, heels, reaching towards the ground. They might not get there right now, but you can pedal the feet out. Take a look in between your hands. Walk those feet forward. Halfway lift. Deep fold. Sweep it up. And back. Let's add a little bit to that. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Swan diving forward. Feel maybe the back of your legs are waking up and stretching out a little bit more. Halfway lift. Step back to your downward facing dog. Give it a breath. Let's come forward into a plank. Nice. So you can also drop to the knees here. Shoulders stay away from the ears. Another option to drop the thighs, roll the shoulders back, and let the heart pull through into cobra, or lifting the legs into your upward facing dog. So this is your choice. This will be your forward pose. And then we'll push it back to downward dog on an exhale. Look in between the hands and walk the feet forward. Halfway lift. Deep fold. Sweep it up. And landing in your mountain pose. Let's go through that one time. Your choice of the forward pose with the breath. So this is our Surya Namaskar A. Mountain pose. Take a deep inhale and exhale here. And begin. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. And take it back to downward facing dog. Inhale forward to your pose, whichever that is, and exhale back to down dog. Inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, bring the feet forward. Halfway lift. Deep fold. Reverse that swan dive. And then landing strong into your mountain pose. Hey, shake it out. Grab a drink if you need. We're going to add a little bit more. So now we want to get some of those movements, some twists and opening up, movement in all the planes of the body. And we can do that with our sun salutation. So we'll start in our mountain pose. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Downward facing dog. So from here, we're gonna lift one of those legs and then bring it forward. So it might take a couple of steps forward, or you might be able to sweep it all the way up to that hand. Take a moment here to just rock back and forth. We want to see that the knee is over top of the ankle, rooting through the foot. And we're going to press up and find our crescent pose. Back heel's lifted. Feel the chest rising up. Core is strong. And take it down. Good. The hand to the inside of the foot is going to stay planted. Twist your body towards that knee. And feel that nice, deep, twisting stretch. So I'm going to change orientation here, just to show that that knee stays resting above the ankle. Hand comes down to the inside. Back foot is going to turn. Hips pull forward. Stretch it into this opening extended side angle. Hand comes back down. Step back into downward dog. Great, that other leg's gonna lift up and step through. Very nice. Take a moment here to make sure the feet are anchored, hip width apart. Rise up with a strong core. Feeling that strong crescent pose. Hands come down, we're gonna twist towards that bent leg. Stacking the shoulders, opening the heart, breathing deeply. Let's take the hand down to the inside, back foot turns, opening up into our extended side angle. Heart pushes forward, reaching up to the sky. And bring it down. Downward facing dog. Your forward pose. Back to downward dog. Looking in between the hands. Walk the feet forward. Halfway lift. Deep fold. Sweep it up. And return. Go ahead and grab a drink. We're going to take that through one time with the breath. Remember, sometimes if our breath is challenged, we might not be able to pair one move with one breath, and that's okay. Just see if you can stay with the breath and stay focused on the body movements. So, back into that mountain pose. Reaching the arms up, hinging forward, halfway lift, downward dog. Lift with the inhale, step it through on the exhale. Inhale, rise up, and exhale, hands down. Inhale to that twist. Exhale, hand comes down to the inside, rotate the foot, and inhale up. Coming back down, let's take it to downward dog. And other leg lift. Exhale, step. Rise up. Hands down. Find that twist. And back to the inside. Back foot pivots. And reach. And return, downward dog. Let's drop to the knees and sink back into a child's pose. Give yourself a few breaths here. Your knees can go wide or they can stay together. Arms can be forward or reaching down to your sides. Just give yourself a little breath here. And then walk your fingertips over to one side, keeping your hips reached back. You're going to stretch through the side ribs. And walk those fingers over to the other side. Fingertips come back. We'll sweep the feet forward. And we're just going to go into a Bara Konasana. Soles of the feet together. Pressing through the sit bones. Let the belly button reach down. Try to kiss those heels. Our knees pressing towards the ground. Elbows can press into the knees. Stretching here into this pectineus muscle. If that's not comfortable and you like to take your feet further away, you can use that stretch to get a little bit more into the adductor muscles of the inner thighs. And we'll gently come up, grab a hold of those knees, and just let yourself come back onto the ground. Roll side to side. And feel free to take any final movements or poses to help you finish off your practice today. Maybe take a short shavasana focused on the breath. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed our yoga bites focused on the salute to the sun, Surya Namaskar. And I look forward to bringing you more fun yoga bites. Have a great day.